Oh, yum. Oh, ew. Oh.
Timmy Joe's World. Hi guys, my name is Timmy Joe, and today we're going to talk all about tablets. But why do I have Elmo up? Well, we're going to talk about tablets as they relate to children. Is it a good idea to give a 2-year-old a tablet? Am I a bad parent for giving him a tablet? Well, we're going to find out, but I happen to think it's a pretty cool idea. So let's go ahead and talk about tablets, children, and how young is too young when it comes to giving a child a tablet. So, tablets, eh? Well, the Nexus 7. This is no slouch of a tablet, and I gave it to my 2-year-old Gibson for Christmas. Am I crazy? Well, not really. Hear me out. We looked for a tablet for a while, okay? With the idea of giving him sort of a learning tool, getting him, kids getting into technology at a young age is probably a good idea. They're going to be immersed for the rest of their lives. But should we have went balls out, from the get-go? Well, I got this tablet for $60 on our local Kijiji. It's our Canada's version of Craigslist. So I got a really good deal on the 2013 version. It's got a 1080p screen. It's got, decent amount of RAM, a Snapdragon processor, pretty good viewing angles, bright display, good battery life. So I think we really lucked out. I would have liked to have this tablet. But, tablets are kind of going, the way of, by the wayside now that phones are so big. People don't want tablets. They're, it's more of a thing maybe business people use, or I don't really know what the market for tablets are anymore. But children certainly enjoy them. It's a cool way to get them kind of attuned to the touchscreen environment they're going to be, shoved into, in the coming years. And there are definitely some wonderful learning tools on it. There are flashcard programs. We've been using that with my son, Baby's First Word flashcard programs. They're, a couple of them have ads on them. It's easy to get rid of them. They're not too expensive to pay, once and get rid of the ads on them. But flashcards that both give a word, show an example of the word. It's like elephant, and then he can click the elephant. It makes the elephant's noise. There's ones relating to the alphabet, the counting. So, it's a good educational tool, as well as it's a good little time waster too. There's a little Hungry Caterpillar game. There's a Thomas the Tank Engine game that he plays, and they're kid oriented. They're made for a toddler, maybe a little bit older than my son. But what I'm going to do is next week I'm going to do the top 5 apps for children, for young children, for toddlers. Maybe Wednesday next week or something like that, because I think it's worth kind of diving into the things I've found, because there's a lot of crap on the Android App Store for children. But to go over kind of the basics, like I said, flashcards, there's a couple of more younger kid oriented games, but as well as this is a wonderful little media device to give to your kid, but in moderation, not to use as a babysitter, but more to use as a learning tool, or a way to maybe distract them for a minute while you're vacuuming or doing the dishes. And it's also really good in the car. Now, it was a big craze to buy these DVD players for your kids, so you can go on trips and they have things to watch. But the tablet does so much more than that, and you can get most of the content for free. You're not buying DVDs and stuff like that. If you have a 3G connection in your car, you can run YouTube or Netflix. But, for the more cheaper choice, we've just downloaded a bunch of kids shows like Peppa Pig and Thomas and Elmo, and a few things ripped right off of YouTube, put it on here, and then he's entertained in the car. I bought a $3 bracket from our local dollar store, and it was pretty easy to set up, just hanging from the headrest on the passenger seat or whatever, and it'll keep him entertained. It's got its own set of stereo speakers, so it's got a pretty loud little volume, so I can still have my volume on in the front and have him listening to his show in the back, so that's pretty cool. And he'll be able to grow with this. Now, there are some Amazon children's tablets that are kind of, geared towards them with some software on there for kids. I was thinking of getting something like that, maybe to review, but when it came down to it, those had really terrible specs. Even like the Leapfrog version of a children's tablet, pretty bad specs. Or even just a cheap tablet in general, pretty bad specs. Usually have really low resolution screens, bad viewing angles on screens, lacking other features. So if you can pick up a used tablet for around $60, make sure it's a name brand like Asus, Acer, Samsung, LG, something like that. And that's a lot better of a deal, and it's going to last until they're 5 or 6, as long as you're not letting them throw it in their toy box and smashing the screen or something like that. So am I crazy for buying my kid a tablet? Do you think that's a good idea? Of course, we do it in moderation, under supervision, and it's really been working out. I think there are definitely some quirks. One thing I would definitely recommend is there is a program called Touch Lock. Touch Lock freezes the screen, the touch screen, so that it will only unlock if you hit a certain area of the screen multiple times. Kind of makes it so you can hand the kid a YouTube video, of puppies, or some educational thing while you're getting something done, and they're not gonna end up into some sort of porn on your Chrome browser because you forgot to. I mean, that definitely never happened. I'm kidding. No, that definitely didn't happen. I'm kidding in general. Anyways, but yeah, there's all kinds of things, quirks or whatever, and I think I'll get into that in the video next week. Am I crazy for buying my kid a tablet? Let me know in the comments below. Have you bought your kid a tablet? How young is too young to give them, a full-fledged Android tablet? Have you found any good apps for children? I'd love to know. Leave the information in the comments below. But my name is Timmy Joe, and I gave my 2-year-old son a Nexus 7 tablet for Christmas. So that's how big of a nerd I am. I will see you guys later on this week. We're back on a schedule Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And I love y'all. Love your faces, whatever. I'm not Philip DeFranco. Have a good day.